A cold and grey morning in Moscow, but formal talks between Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin are set to be anything but frosty. The two leaders, who reaffirmed their dear friendship on Monday, are set to tackle a host of issues, but most international interest centres on the war in Ukraine. The Russian president said he respected Xi's 12-point proposal to solve the conflict.
We have carefully studied your proposals for resolving the acute crisis in Ukraine. We know that you act based on the principles of justice and respect for the fundamental provisions of international law.
Xi's plan calls for dialogue and ceasing hostilities, though doesn't specifically say that Russia should withdraw from Ukraine. Western leaders oppose the proposition, criticising its lack of practical solutions. Meanwhile, Washington says Beijing's moves could be a stalling tactic to help Moscow.
The world should not be fooled by any tactical move by Russia, supported by China or any other country, to freeze the war on its own terms. That President Xi is traveling to Russia days after the International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant for President Putin suggests that China feels no responsibility to hold the Kremlin accountable for the atrocities committed in Ukraine.
Ukraine, meanwhile, fears Beijing's cooperation with Russia on technology and trade could lead to military support, though some analysts say this is unlikely. President Volodymyr Zelensky says he would welcome talks with his Chinese counterpart. The two leaders have not spoken since the start of the war.